Hello, my jolies and wonderful beings. Welcome back to joliide. I wanted to do a quick video, real quick, just piggybacking off of this video right here, 5 steps to break up with your inner critic, where I talked about breaking up with shame, breaking up with guilt, to break up with the comparison trap, breaking up with being in control, wanting to be in control all the time, and breaking up with blaming others. That was a pretty good one. If you didn't catch that, make sure that you catch that video. But I wanted to go a little bit deeper in breaking up with shame and how I even started joliide in the first place. If you're new to the channel and you don't know my story, I started joliide, beautiful mind is what it stands for, after the loss of my sister by suicide, who was diagnosed bipolar disorder. And this was in 2011. After losing her, I created a nonprofit where I talked about bipolar disorder and how it is treatable, and suicide prevention, how it is preventable. Suicide is preventable. And one of the things that happened before my sister's untimely, unfortunate, tragic death, one of the things that happened prior was she had an event. And it was at Lucky Strikes. I'm from the Houston area. It was at Lucky Strikes, and it was about opening doors to living beautiful. And that's how I got the name. Live Beautiful Now was my nonprofit. And then it flowed into Beautiful Mind, joliide, Louisiana Creole. And so her event was called Opening Doors to Living Beautifully. And it was basically about teaching individuals, because she was a real estate broker, teaching individuals how to get in your home, but not just get in there and then shit happens and foreclosures happen, but to get in your home and actually live and stay in your home. What are the steps to actually be in your home and stay, remain, maintain? And so, long story short, during this event, my sister was dealing with her bipolar symptoms and episodes, and she was so ashamed of her mental illness, of this mental disorder that she sometimes could not control. And the medicine that they gave her sometimes often made her feel like she wasn't herself. So dealing with bipolar disorder, she felt like she wasn't herself. Dealing with the medication, she felt like she wasn't herself. And she knew that she had this huge thing over her head about helping individuals into a huge contract, like giving your life away. This is your house. This is a huge investment, right? And so she felt ashamed to share what she was dealing with or going through. And so she hid it. And this was the last event that we had together. And it was hard for her to face individuals. She did not want anyone to know. She didn't really want to even accept help from professionals. And I know I may be babbling a little bit with what I'm sharing. This is not rehearsed. It's just straight up off my chest, off my heart, off my experience. And it hurt to know that someone could be so ashamed of who they are, a part of who they are, the things that they're dealing with, that they would take their own life, that was the next resort. I also feel that some of the medication really had a huge part in that, and also the guidance of her professional help. That's another story. But in the end, she did ultimately commit suicide. And I just wanted to come back on because what I talked about in the previous video about shame was more so things that we fail and we stumble, and our actions and how we act out, and we feel ashamed about some of the things that we've done, foolish ways and stuff. But I wanted to take it a bit more deeper because I know a lot of individuals, especially with COVID, especially with things that's happening in 2020, there's a lot of shameful feelings, and there's this whole thing of social media that we feel that we have to put on this front, but deep down inside there's a feeling of dying. There's a feeling of you don't know who you are. There's a feeling of confusion. There's a feeling of what is my purpose? And I just wanted to let you know that there's no reason to be ashamed of who you are, of what you're dealing with, of what you're going through. If you have a mental illness, if there's no shame in getting professional help. At the end of the day, it is your life. You were brought on this earth for a reason, and allow that to shine through. All right. There are some days that are shitty. There are some days that feel like there's the weight of like the literate world. I don't even know if that's the right way to say it. But there's some days that you really feel like the world is weighing you down and you just cannot get up. On those days, allow yourself to be in that space, because the more you resist it, the more you feel ashamed about it, the more that you end up beating yourself up, digging a deeper hole. But when you acknowledge and you feel the pain and you face the pain and you challenge the thoughts that are causing this pain, you ultimately know that you will come out of it. Now, I'm not a professional, a mental health professional. So if you feel that you need professional help, get it. And don't be ashamed about it. You're actually stronger, bolder, wiser, more courageous when you actually speak up, step up, and make sure that you're taking care of yourself. That's all that matters. I'm going to leave you with this, is that everybody deals with shit. You know, there's different levels to the things that are going on in our mind. There's different levels to the things that are happening to our bodies. There's different levels for everyone. And so for anyone out there to feel that you should feel shame about who you are, it's so many of us walking with this boop, 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 this bubble on our head of all the things that we think is wrong with ourselves, yet we're smiling and we're fluffing our hair and we're walking around like we're Miss Perfect or Mr. Perfection. And there's so much shit happening within ourselves that is untrue, it's unreal, but we're living through it deep down inside. And this is why I'm always talking about it takes going inward to know your truth, to be your truth. And while, you know, Latrice is no longer here, there is still a legacy left behind. There's a message left behind. I'm still here to share the story of loss and grief to triumph, of an unfortunate, sad death, my only sister, to share that you're not alone. So one other thing I want to share, and then I'm going to get off of here on this video, is that as a caregiver or as a supporter, as someone who is there for someone who is dealing or battling a mental illness or just having a hard time in general, not necessarily having to be diagnosed with a mental illness, as a supporter, as someone there for them, you can only do so much. You be there to support, you love on them. A lot of times when something happens or when you feel that you can't do anything about it, you beat yourself up like we did. Shoulda, coulda, wouldas. What could I have changed? Knowing that we did everything that we could possibly do. I just want to share that at the end of the day, everyone's life's journey, course, path is meant for them specifically, personally. It is theirs. And so mine is mine. What I had to go through, what I'm going through, where I'm at right now in my life, yours is yours. And that goes back to also that previous video about the comparison, about thinking that someone else's life is so amazing and you have no idea what it took for them to get into that space in their life, or you don't know what they're going through in the space and time they're in it right now. And so live your life for you, be that loving supporter, and know that at the end of the day, you have to take care of yourself first in order to take care of others. And so if you're feeling shameful or ashamed about something that you're dealing with, going through, whether it's a mental illness, maybe it's a loss of, your house, maybe it's something that's happened to your body that you no longer feel good about yourself. There's many, many things that goes deeper than those foolish actions and those spit out the mouth, talking shit that we do and we want to take it back the next day. There's so many other things that we feel deeply rooted and shameful about ourselves, that if at any point you feel that you do need professional help, get it. Stand up for yourself. Take care of yourself. And know that you're not crazy. We all got some crazy in us. You are not crazy. You are one of a kind. You are beautifully made. You've just got to get out of your head and you've got to see the beauty in yourself, the truth within yourself. And sometimes there's there's a lot of layers rather, that you've built up from things that you've done because you haven't taken the time to slow down, that you can't even see who you are and what your purpose is. You can't even see how far you've come, how amazing you've done, because you've built up these other walls and layers that It's smoke and mirrors. It's bricks. It's walls. And the only way to get past these walls, these bricks, these layers, the smoke and mirrors, is to go inward. And to go inward, you've got to slow down. You've got to get professional help if it's necessary. I'm going to end here. Y'all know how I like to take it out with a wonderful inhale and exhale. Let's do that again. Inhale and exhale. I hope that this message finds you well. I hope that this video spoke to you, and if this video is not for you and you made it this far, share it with someone that you think may find value in this video. I'm here. I feel like my purpose, my course, my path, my journey has been brought here to share my experience to help the next person. If there's something that you are seeking more of from my videos, I'd love to know. Please drop in the comments. If you have any questions, if you have any remarks, if you have any comments. This is not about me just talking at you. This is about us having a communication, a family, a support system here as we all continue to evolve and grow and ignite, spark, and live in our truest self. Not just our best version of ourself, which I've talked about that in another video, with the accomplishment, best version, that filtered life, but the truest version of yourself. So I love you. Have an amazing one. Until next time,